Hello, Feedfeed community. Good morning from Australia. I'm Ashley from Nourish Me Mum. You can find me on Instagram at Nourish Me Mum. I do gluten, dairy, and refined sugar-free recipes, a lot of baking, salads, smoothies, raw treats, lots of yummy things. You can also find my recipes at nourishmemum.com, including the strawberry almond butter cookies we are going to be making this morning. I am also an editor at the Feedfeed. I edit the allergy-friendly feed, foods free from the top 8 allergens, so you can head over to feedfeed.info and find more there. Okay, so we're going to head into the kitchen and we're going to make some strawberry almond butter blondies. So I might have a little bit of a helper or a sampler this morning. This is my daughter Charlotte. Say hi, Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
So to make our cookies this morning, we just have some very simple ingredients. I just have some almond butter. You can use homemade or store-bought. I have some maple syrup. So I've got some good quality maple syrup, 1 free-range organic egg. I've got a half a cup of chopped strawberries and some baking soda and sea salt. I also have my oven on at 175 degrees Celsius and 2 baking trays lined with parchment paper. This is a really great recipe to make with kids because it's so simple and there's not much that can go wrong with your batter, so they can't really overmix. They can most certainly eat it all though before you get the cookies in the oven. So what you want to do is you just want to start breaking up that nut butter. So you just want to use a fork or a spatula to loosen up your nut butter. Then you just want to go ahead and crack your egg into your bowl. So just give your egg a little bit of a whisk in the side of your bowl. So we're just going to add 1/3 of a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of sea salt. And then we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. You can use rice malt or honey here if you would prefer. That's just my audience this morning. If you hear anyone squawking in the background, that's my son James. So now we're going to go ahead and just add in our half a cup of strawberries. And we're just going to fold this all in together. And don't worry, you can't overwork this. Nut butter is so versatile. So I really just want to show you how versatile nut butter is and that this is going to turn into delicious, gorgeous cookies. So that's well mixed there. That's just how you'd like it. And I'm just going to use a mini ice cream scoop to scoop the cookies onto the parchment. So you just want to use a teaspoon or a full mini ice cream scoop. And you want to leave a little bit of room between the cookies. So it's best to keep these cookies on the small side, and they're not really going to change shape much when they bake, so make sure you're happy with them when they go in the oven. So our cookies are all ready to go in the oven. You will get about 2 dozen out of this recipe. So we're going to bake these for about 5 to 7 minutes. They're not going to change shape or color much, so you just want to watch for them to brown on top slightly. So I really just wanted to show you this recipe because you can use any nut butter or fruit combination and really have some fun with it. It's really versatile, it's so simple, and you're going to love it. And I just wanted to show all the North Americans what Aussie winter looks like. I'm Canadian and I live in Australia, and it is winter time. Okay, so 5-minute mark, the timer has gone off. You can see our beautiful cookies. They're still just a little bit pale, so I'm going to pop them in for 1 more minute. So there you go. That's the 6-7 minute mark. You can see there's just a really nice golden color on the top of those cookies. I bet you didn't think that you were going to get this out of that bowl of mushy nut butter, did you? And how simple was it? Just a few basic ingredients and you have a beautiful little cookie that only takes minutes to bake. So while the cookies are cooling, again, you can find this full recipe on my website, nourishmemum.com. And as I mentioned, I love baking with nut butter. So on my Instagram, there's lots of nut butter recipes like these nut butter blondies. There is a chocolate chip variety, and my all-time favorite, which is cashew butter and blueberry. And if you love nut butter as much as I do, there's also a nut butter feed on the Feedfeed because we know that the Feedfeed community has everything a foodie could ever want, so check that out too. So our cookies have cooled slightly, and I'm just using a lifter to transfer them to a wire rack because you don't want them to sweat on the baking sheet. What do you think, Charlotte?
It's delicious, Mom.
So happy Sunday from Australia. We are going to enjoy some strawberry nut butter cookies and a coffee. Have a great long weekend. I enjoyed this Snapchat takeover and that you make yourself some almond butter cookies this long weekend. They're too simple not to. So I hope you've seen the versatility of nut butter and you can come up with some great combos. Now, these cookies are best eaten the same day, so make a fresh batch and share them with friends and family. They won't last long. As you can see, they're not lasting long in my house either. If you would like to do a Feedfeed Snapchat takeover, make sure you send a snap to this account, the Feedfeed, and tell them what it is you'd like to make. Thanks, guys, and come visit me at Nourish Me Mom.